Hello, my anxious parents, and welcome back. I'm sure you're busy and you have a tight schedule, but stick around. In this video, we're going to be talking about productivity at home with children. And I'm going to be going over a couple of tricks and hacks that I'm doing with my children. So let's get right on it. So number one, one of my main things that I do is I have a skeleton of what I want to do that particular week. Sometimes I do it like for a month as well. But for me to have a skeleton of the week, what needs to be done roughly that week when it comes to my children, when it comes to me, it really helps me, nothing ever goes according to a plan, but nothing was achieved without a plan. So to have a particular plan, you're never going to go dot by dot. But if you can have a certain vague idea of what you need to be doing or what you want to be doing that week, is going to easy up the task. So my skeleton will include having a list. I usually do like with a thick marker, and I take a piece of paper and I put 6 points that I want to achieve, that I want to do that particular day. 2 points relate to me being selfish. 2 points relate to my children. 2 points relate to house and what needs to be done around the house. So basically what this does is when I have more points on my list that I'm gonna actually achieve, it kind of eases up the pressure on me. Even if I get done 1 point of each, that's already an achievement for me, and that should be an achievement for you, because you're not a superhuman, you are a mother, and I'm sure you are tired. In this video, I'm talking from a single mom's perspective, but if you have a partner, then you can definitely do it together and have that list that incorporates kind of both of your responsibilities. And this way, your partner's gonna have a vague idea of what are his expectations of that day, and you're gonna have an idea of what are your expectations of that day, week, or month. One of the other important things that I do when it comes to running a household, being a mother, being a single parent, is I have, again, a vague idea, not the precise idea, because, tastes change from day to day, of what my menu is going to be for the week. So I don't stress, I don't dwell on it. And as a family, we always do that little treat at the end of the week, because, your teens and your toddlers, I'm sure everyone is sick of your cooking. We order in food. Sometimes we splurge and we order something, we don't have to necessarily order junk food. We usually go buy sushi or some Thai place that we have around the area. It gives us the opportunity to kind of bond. We, sit together, we order the food. I try to make sure that my toddlers are still awake so we can kind of have that dinner together. And my teens love it. We just, order the food, then sit and wait. Then when the food comes, we just sit together. We can watch a movie, watch a show, or just talk. It kind of, connects us, give us the opportunity to, talk, and not necessarily over a food that I made. The kitchen is clean, I don't have to cook, and everyone is kind of rested. Another thing that I do when it comes to my creativity, when it comes to being a content creator and business owner for that matter, I don't do everything in one day. So I pick a day. For example, I have a kind of schedule for the week, which kind of helps with the productivity when it comes to my children as well, because I don't overwhelm my day. And at the end of the day, I have the power, I have the energy to dedicate myself to them and to offer them that one-on-one time. They don't always necessarily want the one-on-one time because they're being watched by adults at daycare, at school. So when they get home, sometimes, at least my toddlers, they just want some alone time, just them and their toys or whatever activity I planned for them. Give them that opportunity, and don't feel offended that they didn't miss you. They just, had enough of the adult interaction for the day. So let me go back. What I do is I pick a day. So for example, I want to do only business related matters today, only related to my business. I don't dwell over the things that didn't get done. So if I know that I need to reply certain emails, that I need to make certain plans for the next week, I need to have a couple of Zoom calls, this is exactly what I do. And I don't incorporate my creative side, my content creator part of my business into that day. I kind of separate it, because I don't always feel inclined to write. I don't always feel inclined to read a book. So when I separate these days, I know that, tomorrow I'm going to be creative, but today I'm only dealing with my business. It helps. Educate yourself when it comes to toddler games. There's so many things now online. If you compare what kind of games were popular 15 years ago, now that I look what kind of games I was playing with my teenager, now they're a little bit outdated. I'm not saying spend hundreds of dollars, God forbid. Just look online. There's so many things you can just print out, so many games. They can cut out letters, they can color, or whatever activity you came up with that day. But don't be a prude. Educate yourself, and maybe include your teenagers into that process as well. Maybe they know some kind of games that they would love to play with you. How I keep boundaries, how I teach my teens and my toddlers to have boundaries when it comes to personal space, which really helps with my productivity around them. So basically, when my toddlers are in a state of flow, and they do get into that state of flow when they're painting, when they're doing something that they really enjoy, no matter what, I don't interrupt them. I let them finish that task. You would be surprised how important it is to, doesn't matter, let them mess up, let them, be muddy and be dirty, but let them finish that process, because if you are not gonna interrupt them, it's gonna send them a message that they shouldn't be interrupting you to some degree. I know this is a big expectation when it comes to toddlers, but this is a start. This is how I started creating boundaries with my toddlers, is treat them the way you want to be treated. So if they're home and they're in a particular task and I don't interrupt them, they finish it. At the same time, I'm trying to do what I want to do in those 15-20 minutes. It all depends how much it takes them to actually finish whatever they're doing. So I sit, for example, and I read a book. And if I see them that they're like done with whatever they're doing and they're looking up to see what I'm doing and they want my attention, I attend to them right away. I drop what I'm doing. Once I'm done, I'm asking for their permission for extra 5 minutes. And those 5 minutes can always vary, 5, 10, 15. But I always go back to what I was doing. That sends them a message. They see that, mommy attended to us. We are not being ignored. We are heard. We are loved, everything is fine. It's just that she needs those extra 5 minutes. And I go back to that particular task, to my book, and I sit back on the couch and I go back to reading. And they just stand there. They're a little bit struck at the beginning, but then they find themselves busy and they find what to do. It sends a very powerful message that each and one of us need to have their boundaries, whether it's emotional, whether it's mental, whether it's physical. Let's go back to productivity. One of the other things that I do to be productive, to make sure that I don't overthink the situation, is I always plan. I do my best to have a skeleton plan of activities that my children are going to be doing through the week for each day. Again, this is a very vague plan. It doesn't need to go by the dot. You don't need to overthink the situation, but everything that I plan for them for the week, I try to kind of stick to that plan. So I know on Mondays, they're going to be drawing. On Tuesdays, we're going to be going to the park. On Wednesdays, I'm taking them grocery shopping with me. Yes, I do include my toddlers in whatever activity I'm doing. So if you have that particular idea, a rough idea of what is getting done that week, not the month would be a stretch, but the week is gonna easy up the load of, thinking, when I get home, how do I get them busy? What should I do? If you have an idea and you have everything set out for them to actually get engaged right away when they get from daycare, from school. My children, my older son is in JK, my younger daughter, she is in daycare. So I do my best to pick them up at the same time. When they get home, I have their activity laying out like right away on the desk, whatever they're going to be doing tonight or that particular evening. So whatever you do, whatever your ambitions are for your children and whatever plans you make for them, just keep in mind that things don't always go by plan, and don't over exaggerate what you want your children and your toddlers to do on a particular evening. It's fine if they don't get anything done. It's fine if you don't get anything done. Life is not all about just reaching a particular goal. It's living through each particular moment as a family, as a union. Thank you very much, and I will see you in my next video.